Thanks, Jordan. Okay, like we talked last night, really proud of those guys in that football game to be in that fight for 60 minutes and come out on top. Some really, really great efforts in that game. Some guys stepping up into roles that they haven't played in previously, which I was really proud of those guys as well. So need to build off of it. Wanted to split that series with the Steelers last week. We have an opportunity to split a series with the Bengals this week, so that'll be our sole focus. With that, I'll take any questions.
All right, first question will go to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, you got any injury updates on Harold or Wyatt or even Carson?
Yeah, nothing. All are rehabbing, all are progressing. Can't rule anybody out just yet.
And then I saw your locker room speech. Just why were you so impressed with what Carson was able to do fighting through that injury?
Yeah, I just think I watched it during the game and making plays and pushing himself and trying to get loose in between series and that type of thing. And uh, just it's a emblematic of the effort out there, and I appreciate that, and I think it speaks well about him. It speaks to his teammates as well.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Chris.
Hey Kevin, I just want to ask you about Shador and when you went back and watched the film, what was some of the your biggest takeaways, especially with some of the throws like the one pick that back across the field and the throw to Herbig that or what Herbig nearly picked.
Yeah, I think the big message for all players and definitely at the quarterback position is to learn from every single play. There are plays where you have to tip the cap to the defense and recognize they're in the right coverage or they made a play. There's other times where you let it rip and you see the right coverage and you're playing on time. So I just think there's so much to learn from. Obviously, the two giveaways, we can learn from both of those plays. They tipped the ball and got lucky. The first one, we can live to play another down on the second one. And again, just those are all plays where we have a young player that will learn and get better from those plays.
Also, you lose Harold early in the game. How much do you think that might have impacted Shador a little bit? And knowing that Harold's been such a consistent guy for him to target during his time as starter.
Sure. Obviously, Harold's a big part of our offense and definitely a player that Shador trusts with the football. We trust all our guys that are out there, and we made adjustments through that game without having Harold for the majority of it, but there's definitely a comfort level with Harold and the quarterbacks.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, I was going to ask about Shador too. So just wondering, where do you feel like he has shown the most growth since he first stepped on that field against the Ravens that day?
Yeah, I wouldn't get into specifics, Mary Kay, other than to say, we work very hard in this building on player development at all positions. And for quarterbacks, like we've talked about all season long, there's always going to be ups and downs. And we just have to learn from each one of these opportunities. So I think yesterday was a great learning opportunity where there's some really, really high level stuff out there. There's opportunities for a couple of the plays that we can do a little bit differently, but it's also, an effort to go out there and beat a good football team at your place and get a win. And, you never want to lose sight of that with quarterbacks young and old. You want to put your team in position to go win the game.
And as he heads into this final start out of these 7 games that he had, is there one particular swing thought that you're going to give him that he needs to go out and show you, in this final game that might really elevate himself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm probably not good at giving swing thoughts. You don't want swing thoughts from me, Mary Kay. But yeah, there's for him when it comes to things that we're looking for him to improve upon. I think Coach Musgrave, Coach Reese do a great job with all positions, but in this case, the quarterback position of we're looking to improve upon this week, and sometimes those are very specific individual type things, whether it be footwork or ball placement on certain routes, operation, want to be better in this area at the line of scrimmage, all those things. I think you get great development and progress when you're specific about what you're looking for. So that happens really every week for our players.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Hey, Kevin, when you think about coaching, you think about X's and O's, play calling and all that. But what is the formula for getting these guys to keep playing hard when we were 3-12 before yesterday?
Yeah, Jeff, it's just we keep the focus on what's in front of us. I appreciate this group. Like I've told you guys, they've done everything I've asked them to do going back to the spring. I know what the results are, but I also know how these guys have worked. And that's just what we're about. We're about putting in the work and then going and competing like crazy on Sundays.
Is that a skill as a coach that you learn as you progress through your tenure?
Yeah, I'd put it back, Jeff, on just having the right players in the locker room that understand how important this game is.
All right, thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Tony.
Yeah, hi. Kevin, two questions. The first, do you agree with Miles after watching the film that the Steelers were overly concerned with him setting the sack record?
I can't get into that specific, Tony. I would tell you Miles and his ability affects every opponent's game plan, every single opponent that goes into the game. I promise you, on Wednesday morning, they have a picture of Myles Garrett and they say, we can't let this guy wreck the game. You know, that's what every offense does. They call them game wreckers. You identify the guys that make those disruptive plays. So he's the focal point of every offensive game plan going, from the beginning of time.
And Kevin, after two frustrating seasons here, do you wish to continue beyond this season as Browns coach?
Yeah, as you can imagine, my sole focus is on this game versus Cincinnati, but I also would tell you I'm privileged to have this job.
Okay.
All right, next we'll go to Joe.
Kevin, just following up on Tony, have there been discussions the past week or any indication on how things might shake out after the game next Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, I understand the question, Joe. I never get into those type of discussions. All I care about is finding a way to go 1-0 this week versus the Bengals.
Okay, and then just on this rookie group, I know we've talked about them a ton, but in terms of the group as a whole, what they've accomplished, and because I think you guys are on track for rookies leading in passing, receiving, and rushing. That's only happened one other time in the Super Bowl era where rookies have done that on a team. Have you been around a group with the Vikings or other teams that have had an effect on a team like this?
Yeah, I don't know that there's, you look around the league and you look at different rookie classes and, I know that there's always special groups that get pointed out after the fact years from now. My biggest thing, Joe, that I would tell you is just the way this group approaches the game. They don't approach it like rookies. This is not a group where I've had to be chasing them around the building to get them to do something or their focus is not where it needs to be. This is forget how good of players they are. This is as diligent a group of workers that I've ever been around. And I think that's a testament to these players. I think it's a testament to Andrew and crew identifying these players. I think it's a testament to their coaches and how they develop them. But at the core of it, this is a group that loves to work, loves to compete, loves to be out there with their teammates, and is willing to do anything that they have to do, or anything that the team needs them to do in order to win.
Just one more following up off of that. Was there a time like during rookie camp, mini camp, or training camp when you could tell this group would be as special as it has been?
Nothing comes to mind, Joe. But again, it's having been around different rookie classes. There's not usually this level of maturity right away with this group, especially considering we had two guys when we drafted them that were 20 years old, and they just have not handled themselves that way.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, next we'll go to Cam.
Kevin, you mentioned the development of guys. I talked to Andre Schmidt last night, and he said that he thinks he's come a long way in that development, and credited you and Bubba and the special teams unit. What have you seen from him? I've asked about it before, but what have you seen from him from that week one and those early season struggles, and to now where he's been consistent for you in weather, in high pressure situations and long field goal attempts? Like how has that development really taken shape over these past several weeks?
Yeah, I think that's taken shape really over the longer run than that even, Cam. Just he had a really strong spring and summer, and I know you're not playing games yet, but then this season he's been consistent. Obviously, I know he's had a tough first game, like a lot of young players do, but confidence comes from demonstrated ability, and I've seen it in practice. I've seen him what he's capable of. So my confidence in the player hasn't wavered. Also recognizing that that's a hard job, and you're not going to be perfect at that job. So when you have a young player that is committed to playing, to kicking well for your team, you understand there's going to be ups and downs, but you also get to watch him work. You get to watch him in practice, and really that's where the confidence comes from.
So many of the guys in the locker room yesterday kind of praised him for that development and for his commitment to his process. And it feels like that's been maybe across the board in other positions too, through some adversity and through struggles this season. What does it say about this locker room that through all of this, that these guys are so supportive of each other, so vocally supportive and supportive, in their actions on the field as well?
Yeah, I think that's just a locker room, Cam, that cares about each other. We have a bunch of good teammates on this team, and sometimes you got to pick your teammates up off the ground. Sometimes you got to push your teammates. You got to be there in a bunch of different ways to, get the best out of each other, and that includes supporting your teammates when you're going through something. And sometimes it's on the field, sometimes it's off the field, but you got to be there for your teammates.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
I don't have anything, sorry.
All right, last one from Scott.
Hey, Kevin, another question on the Shedeur interception to Jerry. After the game, he said, he just wants to give his guys a chance, right? Give him a chance to make a play. So is it just a matter of knowing when it's the right situation to do that?
Without a doubt. And I think, that's the big thing with playing the quarterback position. There's going to be plays that are right on the border of, you're trying to make a play, you don't want to press, but there's some throws that you see in the NFL. I can think of a few, that I saw yesterday where that's a fine line between, hey, are you forcing that ball? Are you trying to make a play? So again, that's all, to me, those are all learning moments for Shedeur, where there's going to be times, and there were times in that game where he made plays, off schedule. Just understanding, when it's time to live to fight another day on a second down and get us to a third and manageable. Those are all, to me, plays that just add up as you add more of these games to your repertoire, and they add up in terms of your decision making in total.
Thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, looks like Dylan is on. So let's get it. All right, Dylan, you got us?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes. All right, you guys have a question for Dylan, raise your hand and we will call on you. All right, first question will go to Cam.
Dylan, how'd the hand feel, and how was it getting back out there?
It felt good. We took measures to kind of, go out there and protect it, but everything went well. Came out the game feeling healthy. Felt good, get my feet back under me and kind of slowly start working my way back into the game.
For you to close out this rookie season at home with a win in a rivalry game, what did that mean to you specifically to be a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, being able to just go back out there and, try to impact this team in a positive way. I never take, playing this game for granted, so anytime just going out there, being able to you just play this game and then getting a win against a division team like that, that's the way you want to end it, regardless of how, the season has been. That's the way you want to end it at home.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Joe.
Dylan, what's it been like being part of a rookie group that's accomplished so much? I mean, do you guys have a competition among each other to see who can outdo the other, or just how close of a group is it?
Uh, nah, I wouldn't say it's like no competition, but I mean, we just all push each other. It is unique, how many of us are, I guess, contributing to this team. But it's not even something like we think about at this point in the season. It's just like we playing ball, going out there, getting better, trying to wrap this season up, and just continue to making strides and growing in this league. So, I mean, I think we just all push each other to just go out there and play for one another.
Just with the group during mini camp and training camp and everything, could you get a sense among the group that you guys could accomplish as much as you have this year?
Um, I'm not I'm not much of a person that looks, kind of too much into the future. I'm really a day by day type of person. So, obviously, there were plays being made by, our class, the whole mini camp, but the whole camp preseason and stuff like that. But I mean, you don't really know those things until the season comes, until the plays have to be made, and plays have been made this season, so it's just fun to see, and fun to be a part of.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next go to Jeff.
Hey, Dylan, you obviously this was your first year seeing the Steelers, but can you think about going back to college or even high school, a big rivalry game that you played in, so you could kind of identify what Browns fans thought about yesterday?
I guess I just go back to Alabama, third Saturday, October, it was always a rivalry. Whoever won that game was smoking cigars, so the supporters, the fans, everybody was behind that game. So, it's almost like a sense of that. So, I could kind of relate in that sense, and I understand, what it means, when they talk about the Steelers and the Browns playing.
So did you win some of those games versus
Uh,
Alabama or not?
yes, 2 out of 3 of those games. I won 2 out of 3 of those games.
And what kind of game did you personally have in those?
Um, More specifically, my final year, my last year, we won at home, and I had 2 touchdowns, over 120 yards, something like that. I don't remember the exact stat, but I know we got the dub.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Mary Kay.
Yeah, Dylan, just wondering, before his first start in Las Vegas, Shador said he wanted to show the Browns that he's who they're looking for. Just wondering, in what ways do you think he has done that over these past 6 games?
I just think he continues to, just fight for this team. I think he's showing continued, improvement week in and week out. And, obviously I think he has a natural leadership about him that he's, continuing to connect with the guys, but he puts his all out there on the field. He extend plays, he makes plays, but like I said, it's just fun. It's exciting to see our rookie class out there contributing, Obviously we're not the one who makes decisions and this and that, but I'm gonna be pulling for him like I'm pulling for everybody else who I got drafted with.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Spencer.
Hey Dylan, we saw Kevin's speech after the game and him giving Carson the game ball, given his efforts of playing through sort of an injury there and go and playing every single snap. Just how much is that effort from Carson, inspirational for you guys? I mean, I know he's just another teammate to you guys, but like, how much does that really set the tone for you guys as a rookie class, but also this entire roster?
I mean, I think you got a lot of people on this team who are kind of cut from that same type of clock. I mean, you're never gonna be healthy in this game from the first day of training camp, So once you step foot on the field, first day of training camp, you kiss it goodbye, So I think Carson just embodies, and continues to, he's the green dot on defense. He's a rookie, but he's a leader out there. So him just giving his all, every single play, that's something you want in a teammate, like I know those guys on defense, like they got Carson back because they know, he got theirs. And, we feel the same way offense, just seeing your teammate go out there, when they know they're not 100%, putting it all on the line. It's many teammates, that we got in this locker room doing that right now, So it's just nothing but respect for it.
And then Joel kind of talked about, these wins mattering, and especially for you guys as young guys, getting that winning feeling and trying to sort of build a culture and sort of set the tone for the future of the organization. How much pride do you guys as a group, especially that as a rookie class of this team, sort of take pride in, do you kind of get the feeling that you guys are supposed to sort of be establishing and building this culture moving forward, and that these wins kind of contribute to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a rookie class coming in, that's what you want to expect, that's what you want to do. You want to go in there and impact the culture in a positive way. I mean, obviously we just got here, so like regardless of how the season is going, like no matter if we in the playoffs or not, like we're not going out there on that field to go and lose, like we're trying to win every game. So to be able to be in that game yesterday and win at home and win against a division rival like that, I believe that builds, fuel, that builds steam, just heading into next week and heading into the offseason and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it just boils down to like individually, what do each of us care about? Why we started to play this game in the first place, So you can look at the circumstances and they're not that favorable, but we signed up to play this game and to give our all for it. So I think that's what we did yesterday, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Thanks.
All right, we'll do two more. First one from Scott.
Hey, Dylan, I got another rookie class question for you. Kevin said that he thinks one of the things that separates you guys is the work ethic. And, he never has to chase anybody down, and he knew right away that you guys all had that in you. Did you notice right away? And how important is it to you that you came in with a group of guys that feels the same way like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did notice right away. I think from the first moment we got in here, we was a group of people like who was always in the building, Nobody had to chase us down. We knew it was business. We knew what it was, and we knew what we came here to do, So you can see this rookie class from the undrafted to the drafted, like we was always in the building getting extra work, extra film, whatever it was in some type of way, to be ready for the moment, So I think that just goes without saying.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go back to Joe.
Dylan, just question off the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry, and sorry to bring up a bad memory here, but at the end of that Ohio State game, playoff game, there was Seth McLaughlin on the Ohio State sideline smoking a cigar because he went to Alabama. Does that show kind of the depth of that rivalry and how seriously people take that?
That was news to me. You just told me something new. I didn't even know that.
That went
But,
viral. That went viral because McLaughlin was injured and he was smoking a cigar like with 2-3 minutes left in that game.
I couldn't even tell you. I didn't even know that was a thing. So thank you for the information. But yeah, I guess I guess he took that serious, and it is a part of that rivalry.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Dylan.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Too frustrating to see here. Do you wish to continue beyond the season as Browns coach? Yeah, as you can imagine, my focus is on this game.
All right, we have Carson here. If you guys have questions for Carson, please raise your hand. All right, we'll go to Cam.
Carson, we've been hearing from Coach about just the grit that you showed playing through, being out there for all the snaps. What was it like out there for you, kind of working through injury and still wanting to be out there and play with your team?
Yeah, I think just the mindset every week is, do whatever I can to be out there with the team, and we put a lot of work in together, and so you never want to have to leave the field, and so that's really always the mindset whenever working through anything like that, and yeah.
I know the record isn't what you guys wanted it to be at this point of the season, but for you guys to close out the year at Huntington Bank Field at home with a win over a division rival, what did that mean to you specifically to be a part of that and to help will that into a win?
It means a lot, and I think for us too, it was a great team win. I mean, I think all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, all played well to really lead us to that. And I think as a way to close out the season, regardless of what's happened all year, that was a great way to close it out at home.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Joe.
Hey Carson, what's it been like being a part of a rookie group like this that has accomplished so much? And was there a time like when you guys got into complex or during the preseason that you had a feeling that this group could accomplish as much as it has?
I think pretty early, just between us all meeting each other, even during rookie mini camp, and from there we could tell that we had the ability to be special, and I think that's kind of what a lot of us have come out here and been able to do. I think you see, all these guys being able to make plays and everything like that, and so just the impact that the rookie class has been pretty special. And I think really it's just scratching the surface so far with what all those guys are capable of.
You're among the league leaders or leading rookies in the league in tackles just going into the final game. Was that a goal of yours coming into the season?
Uh, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a goal, obviously. That comes when you're playing linebacker, I think, and really the goal for me when I'm on the field is just to run to the football and do everything I can to get there, and I guess that is something that follows, but um, really that's my mindset when the game comes. It's not really about the stats. It's more about, how I'm playing.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Because I imagine this is way more football than you've ever played in one year. How have you avoided the rookie wall?
Uh, I mean, I just love football. I think that's part of it. I guess it's the most football I've played in a year, but I also grew up basically playing football every day I could. So, um, I guess it's a lot of the most, I guess you could say, organized I've played, but it's what I've been doing for my whole life. And so, for me, it was, every opportunity I get to go out there is an opportunity to go out there and have fun. And I think that's, the best thing that's helped me, throughout the whole year.
And then all the attention that you're getting as the likely defensive rookie of the year, what is that like for you?
I think for me, whether it's good or bad, I tend to do 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 the best I can to just not really think about the attention. I think when you start trying to focus on, similar to the last question, when you start trying to focus on stats or awards or things like that, it takes away from why I'm really playing this game and what I love to do, and then why I'm out there with my teammates and things like that. And so obviously, you can't ignore it, but I think the mindset has always been the same, and focusing on each week as they come, and what I can do to prepare myself to be the best I can when I take the field for the guys I'm on the field with.
Thank you.
All right, next one, Mary Kay.
Yeah, Carson, just wondering, what kind of energy and leadership has Shedeur Sanders brought even to you guys over there on the defensive side of the ball, and what kinds of things have you seen in him this season?
Yeah, I think he's approached each week as a pro, and he's come in and been able to spark the offense, and then I think just as a defense, I think it works both ways. Anytime somebody on your team is making plays, it's contagious. And so, anytime the offense is moving well and scoring points, it gives the defense energy.
Thanks.
Okay, next we're to Scott.
Hey Carson, was the thigh bruise from a helmet to it at the end of toward the end of the first half? Is that how it happened?
Uh, I'm not too sure when it happened, to be honest. But I mean, probably. I think if there's a play where it shows it, that would make sense.
And then it looked pretty bad. You were limping at the end of the half. How were you able to continue in the second half? And did you feel a lot better in the second half?
Yeah, I think some of it. I mean, halftime I was able to go in and put a pad over it and wrap, and so that always helps. And then I think sometimes with things you just kind of get used to it, and I think that helps too.
And what did it mean for Kevin to single you out and give you that game ball in the locker room?
I mean, it's a great feeling, but really that was a great team win for all of us. I think, defensively, we needed everybody who stepped on that field, the same offense and special teams, and so I think that win right there really, gives this team momentum moving forward.
Thanks.
Okay, next we'll go to Tony.
Carson, you have one game left. Other than winning it, what would you like to accomplish?
Uh, to be honest, I think that's what it is. I think you want to go out there and win, every game you can. And, when you step on the field, I think the one thing that like I always say, I just want to leave it knowing that I gave everything I had. And so, that's really the mindset there.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and last one from Spencer.
Hey Carson, Joel talked yesterday just about these wins mattering for everybody, but especially for you guys as a young group, trying to establish and sort of build that culture moving forward. Like how aware are you guys as a rookie class of sort of being the foundational pieces, and how much pride do you take in trying to sort of blaze that path forward and that future for this team?
Yeah, I think as a rookie class, we understand what the expectation is for us, and we hold ourselves to a high standard as well in terms of being able to be a group that comes in and is able to build and establish that culture that they talk about, and so I think that's something that we will, continue as a rookie class to try and do. And obviously, there's guys who have been here who have definitely established that as well. I mean, you talked about Joel, and there's other guys throughout offense, defense, special teams that have contributed that and laid the groundwork. And I think, when you have a guy like Mason or defensively, I'm really talking about for rookies, but he's a guy that is very easy for me to keep playing because he keeps playing. He every time he's on the field he's going 100%, and so similar to the guys we have on offense as rookies. And so I think just building that culture and these wins like this continue to help us in that aspect.
And I guess just off of that, like what is a win like yesterday, and maybe even finishing the season with a win over the Bengals this weekend, how much can that impact that culture change and sort of setting that tone going into the offseason and into 2026?
Yeah, I think it like you said, it sets the tone going into the off season for us, and that's it kind of develops the mindset that we want to have. And when you're going to be a team that's playing meaningful games in December, these are games that you're going to have to win. And so taking these seriously and approaching these games how we are, I think is important, and gives us and it prepares us well for the future.
Thanks, Carson.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Carson. Thanks, everyone.